Consuelo, everybody. Actually, we're not doing much new today, a little bit, but really it's just something we haven't done for a while. Okay, so we're going to look at square root functions, square root graphs. First thing I'm going to show you is how to find the domain of a square root function. Okay, what you do, and we're just talking about square roots. We're not going to get into cube roots, fourth roots, or anything else. What you do is the quantity under the radical must be greater than or equal to 0. Okay? So we have x is greater than or equal to -6. So what's the domain then? It's starting at -6 and going to positive infinity. Okay, so when you graph this thing, that's what its domain is going to be. Okay, in this case, for the domain, again, you take the quantity under the radical, doesn't matter what it is, 3 minus 8x, and say it's greater than or equal to 0. Now, there are two ways to do this. What most people are probably going to do is say -8x is greater than or equal to -3, and then since you're dividing by a -8, you have to change the direction of the symbol. And that's fine. Okay, so x is less than or equal to 3/8. That means it's negative infinity to 3/8. Okay, but I just want to point out you could have done something else. You could have also brought the 8x over. In other words, start with the 3. So you're going to do one or the other. You don't have to do this twice or anything. If you have this, you can bring the 8x over and then divide by 8. I just want to remind you, it's been a while since we've done this, but always read an inequality from the variable. So this would be x is less than or equal to 3/8, which will give you the same interval. Okay, that's just how to find the domain. Now for functions, what is this? Stretch, compress, reflect, blah, 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 blah. We've done this before. We haven't done it for a while. But remember, what you want to do is, first of all, figure out whether it's with the x or the y. And you might want to go back to your chapter 2 notes on the graphing techniques to review those. So you want to figure out whether it's with the x or the y. The question is, can you move the number to the x or to the y? Sorry, that's not the question. The question is, can you move it to the y? You don't even want to consider whether you can move it to the x. If you can put it with the y, then it's with the y. And then the second question, and if you can't, then it's with the x. The second thing is it with the variable that it's changing? If it's on the same side of the equation as the variable it's changing, then you do the opposite of what it says. If it's on the opposite side of the equation as the variable it's changing, then you do exactly what it says. Okay, so let's take a look at this. First of all, if you remember what a square root function is, it has the following points. I'm just going to sketch this real quickly. 0, 0, 1, 1, and 4, 2. And it's like a half curve on its side. Okay? That's the basic y equals square root of x. All right. So you have to know that first. Okay, so the basic equation is y equals square root of x. Now, and it doesn't matter which one you look at first. The 1, I can put the 1 over on the other side with the y, with the f of x. I'm not going to. I'm going to leave it there. So it's with the y. Since it's on the opposite side of the equation as the y, I'm going to do exactly what it says. I'm going to go up 1. The 2, okay? Since I can't move it over with the f of x, it's with the x. Since it's on the same side of the x, I'm going to do the opposite of what it says. So I'm going to go 2 left. Okay. So what I'm going to do here is make the basic graph first, and then I'm going to shift it 2 left and up 1, okay? And that's pretty much what I'm going to do on all of these things. Not go 2 left and up 1, but make the basic graph and then shift it, stretch it, compress it, whatever. So the basic graph is these 3 points. I'm going to dash it because it's not the final graph. And then I'm going to take this and go 2 left. I'm going to take the point at 0, 0 and go 2 left and up 1. That didn't draw that very well. Then take the point at 1, 1, go 2 left and up 1. Then take the point at 4, 2 and go 2 left and up 1. And then draw it. And it's got an arrow on this end, but on the right-hand side, but it doesn't have an arrow on the left. Okay? And if you did find the domain for this, notice you'd say x plus 2 is greater than or equal to 0. Therefore, x, which I didn't ask you to do, but you could, x is greater than or equal to negative 2. That's why it starts at negative 2 and then goes to the right. Okay, so there's nothing on the left-hand side of negative 2. Okay, here there are two things. So again, the basic equation is y equals square root of x. There are two things. There's a negative 2 and a 1. Now, you have to do the multiplications first, so we're going to look at negative 2. I could move the negative 2 over to the g of x side. I'm not going to. I'm going to leave it there. So since I could move it, it's with the y. So since it's on the opposite side of the equation, I'm going to do exactly what it says. I'm going to multiply y by negative 2. And then the 1, I could move it over, so it's with the y. Since it's on the opposite side, I'm going to do exactly what it says. And then I'm going to go up 1. And yes, you have to do it in that order. So I'm going to put the basic equation, basic graph, which you just have to have memorized. I'm going to multiply y by negative 2, so the point at 0, 0 stays there. The point at 1, 1 goes down to negative 2, and the point at 4, 2 goes down to negative 4. So this is what you get after you've multiplied by negative 2. And then I'm going to just take those points and shift them up 1. And then draw it as best you can. Okay. All right, last one. Here are the x things are the tough ones. So we have y equals square root of x, first of all. And then the negative 2, I can't put it with the y, so it's with the x. Now, what's the opposite of multiplying by negative 2? It's multiply x by negative 1/2. Remember, the multiplicative opposite does not change the sign. You just take the reciprocal of it. So the basic graph has these points. Now I'm going to take those and I'm going to multiply x by negative 1/2. So 0, 0 stays where it is. This one's going to be a little tough to see. 1 comma 1 goes to 1/2 comma 1. And 4 comma 2 goes to 2 comma 2, because you're just multiplying the x coordinate by 1/2. And then what is it doing? I hate when it does this. It starts giving me a straight line for some weird reason. Okay. So draw it as best you can. Okay. And that's it. So that's what a square root graph looks like. If you have any questions, ask away. Bye-bye.